Greetings. Welcome to Billing Buddies video. My name is Bonnie J. Flom, and I'm here today to bring to you information about billing services. My qualifications to give you that information is I've been in the billing field for 10 years working at a hospital and 23 years working in my own billing agency. I've had quite the career and quite the beginnings over and over with the different fields I've worked with. When I worked with a hospital, I started in 1984, and I was pulling archives from 83 and 82. At the time, I didn't realize the significance of it, but 1984 was the first year they used the UB form in the 1500 form. So when I'd go back to 82 and 83, which was quite common, they would have letterhead. Medicare Part A inpatient hospital was being billed on letterhead in 1983. So I started at the beginning of all the regulations that were coming in and infiltrating the entire profession. Then when I started my billing agency in 94, and I would go door to door knocking to try to get clients, nobody knew what a billing agency was. It was really at the start. And regulations with billing agencies have changed so much as well. It started out for myself, we charged a per claim, and then it changed to a percentage of receipts and a percentage of billed, and now we're back to a flat fee. We charge per visit, and actually a group of visits, like 1 to 100 visits, we charge $500 per month. If you want more pricing than that, and I hope you do, is give me a text message to 612-432-2366. That's also my cell phone. So it's 612-432-2366. Text me how many monthly visits you are, and I'll text you back a quote. Just put in whatever you have. 300 monthly visits or whatever, just put that in and I'll send you back a quote, and you'll get a good idea for pricing, which is one of the major questions that people have concerning billing services, is how much do they cost. Now, if you see billing services that are charging a percentage, there's very few states that allow that. In fact, some states are actually pursuing lawsuits for fee splitting if you charge a percentage, and that would be New York. It's actually illegal in New York to charge a percentage. The OIG, which is a federal organization that oversees Medicare and Medicaid services, strongly suggests you shouldn't do that. And if you want, I can send you that article. Also, each state has its DHS rules, Department of Human and Health Services. They strongly suggest you don't, if not forbid you in many states. And finally, there's the licensing boards in each state that forbid you for charging a percentage of receipts. They look at it as fee splitting, in that it's an inducement if you do that. So let's get started with billing services. It's pretty easy to use a billing service. You probably, if you're billing in-house, don't realize it, but there's really only 3 sets of data that you need to be able to do your job daily. And let's say today's Wednesday. On Wednesday, all of our clinics are faxing us those 3 sets of data. What those 3 sets of data are is your new patient information. That's the form that has the patient's name, address, insurance, all that stuff in it. We need that the first time, and we need it again if the insurance changes or the address changes. The reason we need it again if the insurance changes, obviously the address is for statements, but the insurance, there's a signature on there where the patient signs their benefits over. Typically, most clinics we do billing for want the money to come to their door, and if you're one of those clinics that want the money to come to your door, then you'll want to make sure you have a good patient signature form. That's one of the things we do when we set up a new clinic, is make sure they're compliant with all the rules and regulations of billing. And we do introductory local coverage determination meetings, which is really the godfather of medical necessity that's produced by Medicare for your services. So back to the 3 sets of data we need. First, the patient info. I hope I explained that well. If not, just text me, and I'm more than happy to give you more, or call me. That's my cell phone. The second thing we need is charges, and charges are what services you performed for the patient. Some of our clinics send us super bills. They have a super bill they really like. Some clinics send us a charge journal. Some clinics schedule online with us and put it in the notes. Some clinics have an EHR that we can print the charges out of. So we work with you to get what you really need us to do for you, and what's easier for you. We really are accommodating that way. And finally, the third thing we need is any kind of payments or payment denials that you get in the mail, and also payments that come into the front desk. Now, we get the electronic remittance advice from the insurance companies right to our software, which we use, Office Ally. So that that information we don't need again. That would be duplicating. It's pretty streamlined now with everything being electronic today, and we use every electronic feature we can. That's about it. And I think any billing company you use probably would need the same information if they're doing everything. If they're doing full practice management, which means they're sending statements, sending claims, doing follow-up. If they were just sending claims, they'd only need the patient info and the charges. But we're here to help you and answer your questions. The biggest thing that you want to look for in a billing service company is a certification. You want this company knowing they're going to ongoing continuing ed, just like a tax preparer. I have a tax preparer. He was in continuing ed last week to make sure he's on top of his game. Billing companies should be doing the same thing, and we at Billing Buddies do that. Every one of our staff is a certified medical reimbursement specialist through the American Medical Billing Association. Each year we need to submit proof that we have 15 hours of continuing ed credit. Many of us go to their annual conference in Vegas, which lasts for 3 days, 2 nights, and that ongoing education is not even replaceable by anything. You need to have that. If you hear of a billing company charging a percentage, I guarantee they're not educated and don't have the rules in front of them, because they don't understand that the trouble the doctor can get into for fee splitting, or how they're viewed as it's an inducement because a billing company can upcode or miscode to get better reimbursement and then take a percentage of it, which isn't ethical. So I think I will sign off here. I really appreciate your time with me today. And if you have any questions on anything else, text or call me, 612-432-2366. Again, 612-432-2366. And thanks for listening. Have a great day. Goodbye.